Hello, FMCA Facebook family. Happy Friday to everyone. Feels like it's been a while since I've done one of these, so uh, glad to be on here with you guys. Today we have Bill Linsenmeyer with Your Best Address, a longtime FMCA member benefit partner. Thanks for joining me, Bill. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Chris. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so Bill and I were just chatting a little bit before, and um, this benefit's one of the first that I was a part of bringing on to FMCA when I took over as CEO. We've been partners since October of 17, so kind of went back a year or two longer than we realized, and it's been great. But I just want to start off by saying or asking you maybe talk about the history of Your Best Address.
Oh, sure. So Your Best Address was started in 2005 by a guy named Larry Strofe and his wife, and they operated it until March of 2017 when I purchased it, and their daughter worked in the mailroom. So there were three of them, and their daughter stayed with us for about 4 years. So, but I've got two adult sons that are involved in the business, and my partner Mary's involved with it. It's a family owned. We try to be as customer centric as we can, and we love it when customers come into the building, come into the office, and when they sign up, we'll show them their personal mailbox and tell them this is their new home. So, but it's a neat business. It's a very niche kind of a business. A lot of people don't know about it, and then when they hear about it, they're like, "Oh, that makes perfect sense." So,
yeah, and it does once people learn about it. I guess that leads to my second question is, like you said, a lot of people aren't really sure about what mail forwarding is, because it is kind of a niche kind of business. Maybe explain what the service is and what members get through Your Best Address.
Sure. So, just to start from the beginning, we are considered a commercial mail receiving agency. So we work with the post office. We have an agreement with the post office, and we are not a PO box. We are a PMB, a personal mailbox. And the difference, according to the post office, is that we are considered a physical address. And that there's a benefit to that I'll get to in a second. But basically how it works is people sign up with us, and they do, if they're a annual customer, they do a permanent change of address with the post office to our address here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and all their mail starts coming to us. If they're just a snowbird, just traveling for 3 or 4 or 5 months in the year, they do a temporary change of address to our address and have their mail come to us. And then we're really at the whim of the client. When the client wants their mail sent out, we'll send it anywhere. We can even send to campgrounds, hotels, friends' houses. We can send USPS to general delivery. So if you know you're driving through a town next Friday, you get on the client portal and enter your new address and your mailing request, or you can email us directly at mail@yourbestaddress.com, or you can call the office and just say, "Hey, I want my mail sent here or here," and we'll send it however the client wants. So if they want first class mail, after 13 ounces, the mail, if they have too much mail, or a lot of mail, it becomes priority mail based on the weight. Or we send UPS, FedEx, or DHL. We have clients all over the world, Thailand, Poland, Ukraine, all over the world. But so the client's mail comes to us, and we hold it in our secure mail room. It's got a lock on it, and we receive packages for clients. Sometimes we receive medications that need to be refrigerated, so we have a refrigerator that we put it into until it's ready to ship out. And it's a really neat system. It just we just ship it at the client's request, at the client's way they want it to go, and get it out there.
Yeah, again, once upon a time when I came to visit, it was kind of funny. It is an interesting process, and I felt like when I went in and you showed me where the mailboxes were, it was like a flashback to when I was a little kid going into school. You have your little cubby,
Yep.
your name on it, and that's kind of yours. So it is a neat little setup you guys have there. So if someone is interested in signing up for mail forwarding, kind of how do they do that? What's the process?
Yeah, there's three ways to do it. People can get on our website, yourbestaddress.com. They can call the office, or they can come in person and sign up. And it really depends on how quickly we get people set up, is how quickly we get basically the information that we need from them, which is a couple picture IDs, and we have a form with the post office called a 1583 that clients have to fill out and sign to give us permission to handle their mail. Otherwise, we can't handle their mail. So it takes maybe a couple of days. We can expedite that process if necessary. We typically put, if there's children under the age of 18, we can add them to the box if that's something people need. But FMCA clients get 14 months of service when they pay for a year. And typically our non-FMCA clients get 13 months, but we added a month for FMCA. And then if people are either a veteran or active duty military, they get an additional month. So some people can get up to 15 months when they pay for 12. So
you kind of touched on this before, but typically someone that takes advantage of this, I'm guessing, is kind of on the move a lot. How do they update their location? Can they do it once a week, once a month? Kind of what's the process there?
It really varies. We've got people that are on a schedule every 2 weeks, 1st and 15th or 5th and the 20th, and they get on a pretty set schedule. But when people are moving around, what we do is we call it will call. So we'll put a hold on their mail until they call us, and then we'll verify their address. Now, if they can get on the client portal, once they become a client, they can get on the client portal and enter their new address or their mailing instructions, or they can email us if they need to, or call us. But the client portal is really the safest and most accurate way to do it. And so we've got people that go out every week. We've got people that go out maybe once every 3 months. It really varies. So.
Yeah, with the client portal, does that also allow? I know you guys do electronic as well, right? So it's not just physical mailing, but is the portal kind of tied into that electronic portion?
So we offer traditional mail forwarding and digital mail forwarding, and the client portal is open to all clients, and that's how people can look at their postage balance. They can look at when their agreement is going to renew, and they can add postage as they use up their postage balance through the client portal. So it's really, the client portal is really a great way for all the clients to go through. But the way our digital mail service works is mail comes in, we take a picture of the outside of each envelope or magazine or box, and the client gets an email with that image, and then there's instructions there to, what do you want us to do with it? Do you want us to forward it to you? Do you want us to just keep it, hold it for a while, or shred it? And we recycle a lot of mail. We get a lot of third-class mail that people don't want. And when our clients sign up, they can choose what they want sent. So people will say, send all mail, including junk mail. They just want everything, and that's fine. We'll send that. Some people will say, just my regular mail and my FMCA magazine. Oh, we can do that too. So we try to be as customer friendly as we can. But back to the digital mail, the advantage to that is people get access to their mail 24/7. They can see it whenever they want. And if they need us to open and scan the contents to them, we will do that as well. And that's important. Sometimes people have letters from their doctors or an attorney or something going on that's really time sensitive. And so we can open up the mail and scan it to them. But that's with the digital mail feature. So,
I'm sure it can help with postage fees as well, right? If there's stuff that you simply don't want.
Right. The digital mail really cuts down on the amount of postage people go through, postage funds, because they can limit it to exactly what they want sent. And we've got a client that lives on a boat out on the West Coast. I've got a picture of his boat in our lobby, and when he comes into a port, he logs into the internet, the Wi-Fi, and boom, he can see all his mail, and he decides what to do with it. So. But it's a neat feature. My son Patrick actually developed our digital mail program, and we had used a couple of vendors prior to this. But he's a super bright guy, and he and a friend of his developed it, and people seem to be happy with it.
Good. I do see a few comments coming in, guys. We'll get to those. At the end of the conversation here, so we're not ignoring you, but we'll get to you. You kind of touched on this, but it sounds like it's not just for full-time travelers, right? I mean, you serve a purpose for people that just travel sporadically too, as well, correct?
Absolutely. We are the only mail forwarding company I know of that does short-term mail forwarding, and so we'll do as few as 3 months at a time. And so people, snowbirds or people that are maybe FMCA members that are sort of dipping their toe in the water and want to see what it's like to live on the road for 4 or 5 months, we can help them. And it's, again, just a temporary change of address to us. And then when they're done traveling, their mail starts automatically going back to wherever they base out of. But it's a great feature for people that aren't full-time but want to try it out. And the thing with the post office, when you forward mail from the post office, they will only send first-class mail, and they will only send it to one address. We will ship it to wherever you are. So, and we'll send whatever mail you want. But we get clients in that my daughter or my son-in-law, they've been sending our mail, and well, they're getting kind of tired of doing that. So, or my neighbor, so we step in and help them out.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, one of our neighbors, we do that for them, and after about a week, I'm tired of packing their mail on my counter and going to the mailbox every day. So yeah, I can see that being helpful to a lot of people.
Yeah.
You kind of touched on this as well, but setting up residency in South Dakota, I think a lot of people would say, why in the world would I want to do that? You want to talk about maybe some of the advantages of doing that?
Sure.
You guys? Yeah.
Sure. So we've got a fair amount of clients that do establish South Dakota residency. And what that entails is a one-night stay every 5 years. And you take a copy of our contract, so we get people that fly in, they sign up, and then they fly out the next day. So what happens is they sign up, we give them the copy of the contract, they spend their night and go to the driver's license station, and 45 minutes later they walk out with a South Dakota driver's license. They are then a South Dakota resident. The advantages to that is South Dakota has no state income tax, and there's no inheritance tax. So some people really like that feature. So you don't have to become a South Dakota resident, but if you do, we'll walk you right through the process.
So you said the only qualification is one stay per 5 years, right?
Yep, one overnight stay. It's got to be at a hotel or a campground. It can't be at a state park. But there's a hotel we partner with that's right down the street that will actually pick up clients at the airport, take them to the hotel, bring them here in the morning, and then take them to the driver's license station, and then either back to the hotel or back to the airport. And it's a really nice system.
Yeah. One of the other benefits you guys offer is vehicle registration in South
Right.
Dakota. Kind of maybe again talk the advantage of that and kind of the process.
Sure. So every state's different, but South Dakota has a sales tax rate of 4% on vehicles, and so that can be an advantage to people. But so what we do is with FMCA members, their first vehicle registration, our assistance fee, we knock $100 off of that. It's $197 to have us help you register your vehicle, but FMCA members, we knock $100 off. And if people know they're going to register multiple vehicles within a year, then our vehicle guy Carl, he'll work with you to have a discount as well. So if he knows you're going to have at least four cars a year, and that's actually fairly common. We get people that I want to start with my RV, and then I've got my Jeep, and then I've got my motorcycle, and that kind of thing. But to register your vehicle in South Dakota, you do not need a South Dakota license for vehicle registration. The address that we give you, and it has to be an annual agreement. We can't do vehicle registrations for the short-term 3 or 4 month clients. The county requires an annual agreement because of the address that we provide. So they want to know that the people are going to be here. But in lieu of a South Dakota license, people can use another form of photo ID issued by the government, like a passport or a driver's license from another state. Then they need either a social security card or a W-2 with their full social security number listed on it. Let's see, financing. This is important. If vehicles are financed, we need the title, and therein lies kind of a rub, in that it can take 6 to 8 weeks once we request a copy of the title from the lender. And unfortunately, the lending companies don't let us contact them to kind of try to push things. We can let the client contact them on their own, but we're not allowed to do that. But just so people, for planning purposes, have an idea in a sense, it takes about 6 to 8 weeks if you don't have the title. If you've got the title and you send it to us, and here's another thing, vehicle registration can happen all online or on the phone with our vehicle guy, Carl. You don't have to come to the state of South Dakota to register your vehicle. So people can sign up for mail forwarding and get their vehicles registered and never come to South Dakota. So, but some advantages to South Dakota over, say, Texas. We don't ever require the vehicle to be in the state of South Dakota. We don't do emissions testing in South Dakota. There's no proof of insurance needed in South Dakota. So there's some real advantages to that place in Texas that we sometimes compete with.
You've kind of touched on a lot of the questions I have, but maybe just kind of in a dedicated space here. What do you think are some of the main benefits for FMCA members to go with your best address, whether it be, like you said, knocking off $100 for the first vehicle registration, or some of the discounts on some of your services? What would you say are some of the main benefits?
Well, beyond those financial benefits, we have, like you had mentioned, we've partnered with FMCA since October 2017. We go to some of the big shows, although I've been to Manchester, Iowa as well for a rally. We advertise in Indio for the rally out there, but we really appreciate the relationship we have with FMCA members, and I enjoy at the rallies of the conversations that we have with people, and it's really a neat experience when people will come up and say, "Hey, you guys really help us out. We really appreciate it." And we told our friends, and they're coming over to the table here to sign up in a few minutes, and that kind of thing. Just we don't get that with just anybody. It's the FMCA is a great organization to work with.
Yeah, so at our two big international conventions, your best address is in the connections area where all
Right.
the benefit partners are. So I think that's definitely a benefit if you do become a client of your best address and you have an issue, Bill will be right there to listen to you and get it rectified. So that,
Yep. Yep.
yeah, you guys do come to each event, support us. So
Yeah, and we've got on if people contact our client manager Vita, or they contact the mail room, or they contact even reception or our billing people or Carl and vehicles. In the email, there's always at the bottom it says, "How am I doing?" Contact my manager, Bill Linsenmeyer, and my email's right there. So I get feedback from clients, and if we're not doing something the way maybe we should be doing, we tighten things up as best we can. And we have we've got 8 employees here at the office. Every morning we get together for a brief huddle, and it's important for everybody to see everybody and check in. And that's one of the things we consistently talk about is taking care of the customer and helping them out the best we can. We get weird things sometimes that come in. People get something shipped to us by accident that they didn't mean to have it sent to here, so we'll try to get it out. We've had RV tires get shipped to us, and then we ship it back out to where they're at, and all sorts of things. So we try to do whatever we can to help out the clients.
okay, yeah. Last question I have is there anything we didn't touch on? Are there any other benefits to going with your best address that we haven't discussed yet?
Well, one of the things I think is important to understand is, and you'll see this if you get on the website, is we don't have a limit on how much mail people can have sent here. We don't have a limit on how many times a month we'll send out. We really try to do it according to what the customer needs. But we do a couple of things that are good to know. One is we do check deposits. So people are traveling and their mail comes to us, and they'll reach out and they'll say, "Hey, I've got a check. Could you deposit it for me?" And if there's a local branch here in Sioux Falls, I'll drive over and make the deposit. If it's not here, I've mailed checks. We just get the account number information. I shoot a short note in with the check down to wherever the closest branch is. So we do that check deposit for people. I'm a registered agent with the state of South Dakota. So we have a lot of clients that have businesses. And so sometimes those businesses, I had one today where a business was served, and the sheriff showed up and had some paperwork, and we are their registered agent. So I signed for it and scanned it and emailed it right away to the client to let them know something was going on. So we really, as I said, try to make it so that when clients are on the road and traveling, that we try to pick up the slack on a lot of things that might be a little bit of a challenge for them to do on the road. So.
All right. Well, that's. I think that's all I had. Let's look at the comments and see if there's anything. Looks like someone asked about guaranteeing privacy of personal information and the idea of things being open and scanned. If privacy could be guaranteed, appeals to them. Looks like someone from your best address answered that, but do you want to speak on that at all, Bill?
Okay. That might be my son Patrick. He monitors the Facebook page so as far as privacy goes, we take it very seriously. We've got the Post Office Form 1583 that needs to be filled out. So we will not handle people's mail until we're authorized, essentially, by the post office to do that. The digital mail person, Rachel, who processes the mail, she's very efficient, and she just does her job. When it's scanned, the letter is put back in the envelope and put in the person's box. The mail room is secured at night. It's locked. It's actually locked at all times. UPS guy and the mail carrier have to ring the doorbell to get into the mail room. So we really take it seriously to keep people's information secure. And with our credit card processor, unless people want us to keep their credit card on file and do an auto billing, which we can do, if it's just a one-time transaction once a year for their mailbox, the credit card processor scrambles the numbers afterwards, so there's not a trail of that as well. So my billing person, Alex, has her room is locked at night when she's not here, so we do our best to keep it secure.
Okay. The only other question I see is, are you going to have a presence at the Courtside show that's going on now?
You know, unfortunately we're not going to have a presence this year at Courtside. I've got the information cards that I've sent to Aaron that he'll have down there, but unfortunately I didn't make it this year. My brother lives in Arizona. I really want to get back down there and get to Courtside, but we're in the process of expanding our mail room, and I can't get away at the moment. So I'm looking forward to going to Courtside maybe next year.
So as Bill said, FMCA does have a booth there. So Kelly, if you're at the show, you can swing by the FMCA booth and they'll have some information about your best address there. Or if you want to talk to Bill in person, you got to come to Perry, Georgia, I guess, for our international convention here in March. I don't see any other comments or questions, Bill. I guess the only other thing is, here in Cincinnati, it's football fever right now. So who are you picking? Bengals, Bills?
I'll go with Bengals. I've got a friend from high school that lives in Cincinnati, and he talks up the Bengals. So I got to go with Bengals.
All right, I like that. That's a good way to end it. Kylie, if you want to put on kind of the website information where people can get more info or sign up for the mail forwarding service, thank you for doing that. Or you can give them a call as well to find more information or get signed up, or email them.
That'd be great. Love to help people out.
Yep. All right, Bill, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. I think it was good, and I think it'll help people understand.
Good. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Bill.
All right.
Have a good weekend. Till next time, guys. Thank you.